my haters be telling me to mind my business when they're out here not minding theirs? Shut your mouth and enjoy the tea. We all know you're here for it, sis.
Hi my ninjas, how are you guys doing? It's Ogolo, I'm Shogore aka Miss Fia for Corporate back for entertainment. If it's the first time joining me, almost definitely welcome. Please do subscribe and of course hit the bell. I absolutely love it. And do not forget to follow me on Instagram. It's at Owamie, okay? Now today my ninjas, I have got another story time. You guys seem to enjoy my story time so much, and so today I'm going to tell you guys about an apostle that stole me and my husband's money and also tried to split us up. Legit, this is no joke. Now basically, obviously, I'm not going to mention which church, I'm not going to mention which year, but yeah. Let me tell you something out here, girl. Okay, so basically, you guys, this I would say started in terms of Habi and I were attending this church. It's a big church, it's a mega church, and within the church they decided that there's gonna be sort of like church services that happen, like I don't know how to call them, but like the smaller versions, like I don't want to say the exact name. I'd say like sort of like prayer meetings. You guys know, like when people meet for prayer meetings in different spots and not necessarily like in the church. So when we heard that there was going to we were gonna start having like services where we are, because we didn't have a branch this side, we're obviously very much excited because we only used to attend via television. So when it started, it was legit strange. There was the first apostle that came, he left. That one is the story time on its own. This was the second apostle, you guys. And so this apostle comes, you guys. The way that he came, it was very much strange, because we had gotten word that no one was going to come this side, because number one, it's too far, and so they're gonna just basically have to choose, I guess, a church leader this side, like the prayer leader this side. And there was a phone call that came from the associate pastor. And the associate pastor was like, he's prophesying. My husband is supposed to be the one to lead. Now, he was not going to be alone. Obviously, there was also someone else there and everything. Legit, you guys, because of what had happened with the first apostle, I was not for it whatsoever. My husband even knows that. Most people didn't know, but I was not for it. I was just like, there's some shady shandy going on here, And like, the thing for me that I feel like I didn't like was the fact that the talks had a lot to do with money. It was almost as if like it's money, 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 money. And it's like, something just ain't right here, So at that time, you guys, like they were like, yeah, so we're gonna come and basically like pray for you guys and bless you guys because of the experience that we had had with the first apostle. Basically like pray off the bad luck and everything. And so that day, since with the first apostle, whenever people would come, would always mark the register in terms of like people would write their names, their numbers, and all that, just so that we can know how many people were attending and everything. That was what the first apostle had requested from us. Now, the book used to stay with another lady, and so I was like, since we're gonna have pastors from the branch coming, let's not let them come and only find like 3 people legit in this place. So I decided that I was going to go out there and get the book, and I started calling everybody. So I was like, guys, you need to come. There's gonna be pastors from the church, they're gonna be coming, so you need to come, basically just being an advocate so that people can come to church. Now, when they came, the pastors from there, it was pegged, you guys. And when I tell you pegged, like it was pegged to the maximum. And remember, like we had just had the scandal that had happened with the first apostle. So I think from there they were like, girl, these people, offering of these people, like, no, we need to definitely send somebody here. So they sent the second apostle, and I was legit happy because of now it means my husband was moved. So they were like, oh, he's going to help the apostle that is coming and stuff. I was legit happy for that because I was just like, imagine me as mom fundis, guys. I will never. I don't even want to lie. If you're a pastor out there and you would ever look at me like, no, I am not the one, honey. Okay. So at that time, you guys, when he came, there was just certain things about him that I just did not understand. Number one, this person like has like kids legit like 5, and this person's unemployed, and there was this whole thing that whenever this person comes in, they're like your leader. Number one, the church like that group where we need to pray, they need to take care of this person. Number one, this person is staying in Joburg, so each time that this person has to come, it's legit the church that has to bring this person here. So it means that a car has to go fetch him. When I tell you the kind of nonsense we have had to I get angry. So you're supposed to drive all the way to like freaking Joburg, Pretoria. Joburg is even closer, to fetch this person, and you also have to drive them back. And when you fetch them, like, he takes his whole family. And you always need to also understand that if you're somebody that knows and owns a car, you will know that the more the car carries, the more faster it charges petrol. So it means that, that small group had to make sure that, we're popping money out for petrol to go fetch the apostle, and also cook for the apostle here, so that each time he comes, he has to eat with his family. And then after that, driving back, basically. Now, girls, yes, I had to deal with that nonsense. So basically, as time was going, there was just a lot of things that, you guys, for me, it just didn't make sense. And I think that maybe my senses were a little bit higher now, simply because of the first experience that we had with the first apostle, which, you guys, that one was horrible. But a lot of things, I was starting to look at them like, nah, sis, like something is just not right here. The way that this person would even talk about the leader of the church and the things they would like reveal, because remember, I've been so close to this person now because it's like the right hand man. It was just legit, you guys, like some scary crap. I'm like, and each time, like, they would be talking, like, his focus would be on money. Now, you guys need to remember, as I said, the first time that they came here, I had called people, so the church was full. And obviously, these people don't have the spiritual discernment to understand or see spiritually that this is not how it always is. They only came because I called people, and they thought somehow maybe the leader was going to come, which obviously, no, you guys are pay a lot of money for that to happen. So, he thought that when he starts, he's starting from that full church. But obviously, after people left, also people left, okay? So it was not even full anymore. But he would always say that, I've been praying to God, I'm seeing it happening, that it's gonna be full here, we're gonna make a lot of money. And not say maybe it's gonna be full here, we're gonna win a lot of souls. Do you understand the kind of conversation that I'm talking about, to say that, like, why are you out here basically talking about money constantly? Like, what happened to winning souls to Jesus Christ? So I started talking to my husband, and I'm just like, I'm not feeling this, hey? And I feel like I'm wasting my time, you guys. If I'm someone that once I'm done with something, like, I'm legit done. Now, hubby tries to obviously convince me, no, babe, we need to go and everything like that. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Then I go to Venda. When I go to Venda, I spent about 2 weeks there. And then by the time I came back, you guys, I was just not going, and people didn't even know that I was back. So I was like, okay, that's fine, since people don't even know that you're back. But then I went one because we were now even attending on Sunday. So I went one Sunday, so they knew that I was back now. And then the following Sunday, you guys, I just didn't go. So basically what had happened was that there were two things that the new apostle was like, we need to buy. The apostle was like, we need to buy for the church. So they were like, there's a pulpit that needs to be bought, and there's also a chair that has to sit in front, that has to be bought. Now, the chair, boo, you don't just buy any chair. It has to be bought by him, basically. And also the pulpit, it has to be bought by him. The pulpit obviously has to come with the emblem, but the chair, I guess that's where they make them. And then because it's supposed to be a holy chair, I don't know if there's prayers involved or whatever. And so I remember there were two ladies that were like, yeah, we're going to volunteer and we're going to pop money up for the pulpit. And hubby was like, well, me and my wife are going to buy the chair, honey. And okay, I was fine with it. Obviously, it was something we had spoken about, and we're like, we're going to basically do this for the Lord. Girl, did we know? So basically the two ladies, they deposit money to his account, but when hubby calls him to say, okay, I want to deposit the money, should I use the same account that the ladies used? He was like, no, he gave my husband his wife's account, you guys. So my husband puts the money in there. So the pulpit comes, but the chair does not come. He calls the people that popped money for the pulpit. He prays for them. He basically praises them in church. And you guys need to remember that when this whole shindig was happening, when we or hubby raised this hand to say that we are going to donate the chair, everybody obviously saw the same way that everyone saw with the ladies. So the two were supposed to come together because the money was popped around the same time. I would say maybe the ladies paid today and then hubby paid like tomorrow, but the difference is the account that was given to my husband was the wife's, and the ladies were given like the husband's account. So we didn't think anything of it, but when the pulpit came and the chair didn't come, and number two, he prays for them and he never mentions anything about the pulpit, about the chair. So now people are starting to look at my husband and I like, okay, have they not popped money for the chair? Like, what is happening with the chair? You understand those kind of stuff? And we know we gave you money for the chair. So I asked my husband, I'm like, babe, you need to ask like what's happening with the chair. So my husband goes and asks him and he's like, yeah, the leader still has to pray for the chair. So the chair is done. I'm just waiting for him to pray. He's a very busy person, so it's in line. There are also other places where he needs to pray for the chair as well and stuff like that. So he prays for them at the same time, blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, that's fine. But the thing is, he never mentioned in church that, the chair was also paid for. And the chair is basically going to come. Do you understand that? So, okay, that's fine. I'd say about 3 weeks go, and now we know the leader is obviously there. And then, like, my husband goes and he asks again. And then he's like, oh, yeah, the material for doing the chairs is finished. So we're waiting on that. Immediately they finish, the material comes, they're going to do it, and then the chair is going to come. God, he forgot that he basically said the chair was done, and we're just waiting for the leader to pray. When hubby came, I was like, girl, you is not serious. What did he say? Now I'm basically on my husband's neck. I'm like, no. You need to find out what is happening. So the third time that my husband goes to talk to him and ask him about the chair, you guys, he snaps on my husband. He's like, I didn't eat your money. Remember, my husband never said, you ate the money. My husband simply asked, what's happening with the chair? I didn't eat your money. I even have the slip here. Where's the slip? Do you understand this? I was like, listen, I'm done with this shindig. Like, I'm just out of here. On top of that, there was just also other things that were basically happening. Him falsely prophesying people. There was this other lady, you guys. She was in an accident and she's very like skinny, and so if you don't know, you would think that maybe like she's like legit sick. So he prophesied her and he was like, I'm seeing a sickness in your blood, and the way he's saying is like he's talking of the HIV, and I'm praying for God to remove it, blah blah blah. And that girl was only in an accident. She's actually negative. We personally knew her. She stopped coming from church. I'm telling you, she stopped coming to church. And then with me, you guys, okay, so basically I'm going to get into that. So after that, you guys, I started basically querying because it was also our car that used to go and fetch him and stuff. I was like, our car is just wasting here. No, because the car is not only just petrol, honey. There's tires, there's service, there's everything. And I started just telling my husband that I'm not comfortable with our car, like going all this up and down because it's for shandy. So, whenever they'd be like, the car would come up with excuses now a little bit. And everybody could just see that legit, like the Shongwanes are. And people could see that, because my husband's so polite, I'm somebody that, like, you will see it in my face, honey, because I'll be looking to you like. So, okay, that's fine. I'd say the last time that I do remember going, I did not go to church, you guys. So my husband calls me, I think it was around 12, and my husband's like, babe, please get ready. I'm gonna come fetch you. It was the time we still only had one car. I'm gonna come fetch you. The apostle said that he has a message for you from God. And I'm like, which God? Now, at this moment, I don't want to seem like an insubordinate wife, honey. If the apostle himself had called me, I would have said no. But since this is my husband, obviously, I gotta be respectful. This was the last day that I ever went to that church, you guys. So I call my husband. I'm like, I'm ready. I get there, you guys. When I get there, I go and I sit, shipupu. And now like everyone is looking at me because think about it. Everybody like saw that I was like dropping when it comes to going to church, and now they had to actually call me and go fetch me. And everyone is looking at me like, girl, there's a demon that entered me, and all of a sudden I just don't want to come to church anymore. People don't know that now I'm pressed about the fact that legit this apostle that stole my money. So I sit there, you guys, and during the church service, I'm gonna tell you something, you guys, like legit I was so pissed. He comes and he says, Mam Hlongwane, stand up, I have a message for you. At that moment, I knew like this message is a lie, okay? If there's anywhere this message might be coming from, it will be from the pits of hell. It's not from above, because at this point, you cannot be a man of God and be a liar at the same time. You're going to be a man of God and be a thief, So he has me stand up and he's like, yeah, so people, does anyone know what a baby shower is? That's legit what this bro said. Okay. Does anybody know what a baby shower is? People are like, yeah, yes, we know what a baby shower is. It's like, next year, this time, you guys are going to be having a baby shower for Mam Hlongwane. Guys. People... This is on a Sunday. The church goes berserk, you guys. People are clapping hands, celebrating. I'm just looking at everybody. I'm like, guys, let me tell you something. I had told myself I'll never ever have a child before my lobola is paid. That was before my lobola was paid, okay? So I was not even trying for a child, you guys. Like legit, I'm not even lying. And like some people didn't know, because some people thought that my husband had already paid lobola, because you're not gonna just walk around and be like, oh yeah, by the way, my husband has not paid lobola yet. No, it was not my husband officially. I mean, when it comes to like the lobola process and everything. And so I was like, before lobola, girl, we ain't trying for no child, do you understand? And again, it's a lot of things, you guys. One day I'm going to just explain everything to you guys and you guys will fully understand. But legit, I swear to God, that time I was not even trying for a child. I was so pissed, you guys. Legit, I was so pissed. I did not clap. I did not, like, I stood there, you guys, and people are basically ululating and stuff like that. And number one, I knew that, okay, so this person, he's seeing that I'm out, okay, I'm going out, and he thinks that maybe the thing that I want is a child from God, and I'm just not falling pregnant. So with the hopes of you're gonna get a child, it means maybe it's going to hook me into the church, and then now I'm gonna be like, oh, because I'm gonna get a child here, so this one, and that ain't even what I was looking for at that particular moment. So like after that, he's like, yeah, people should, you ladies should get ready. Hey, what? And then after that, you guys, he says that I have a present for you. So he gives me like two, sort of like a brochure And I think that the one, I don't know if it was a book. I never read them, you guys. But I do remember the brochure outside. It said, Prayer of a Barren Woman. When I tell you I have suffered in life, when I came home that day, oh, before that, you guys, he was like, yeah, I think there was supposed to be like a church event that was supposed to happen, and he was like, people need to donate. And then he was like, how many envelopes are here? And then I think there were like about 14 envelopes there. So he was like, no, so I need people that are going to donate 500 and above. You understand? So or give 500 and above. So people went in front, you guys, stood on the line to say, yeah, we're gonna give 500 and above to take the envelopes. So my husband was sitting, I sat down, because let me tell you something with Big Guy. Big Guy knows me down to the core. He knew that day I'm down with this shende. Okay, so he sits down, I sit down. Then the apostle goes to my husband and he's like, I don't know what he said to him, but then my husband then took the envelope and went in front for him to get paid. Then after that, the apostle comes to me and he whispers in my ear and he's like, woman of God, don't you want your prophecy to come to pass? Go in front. So I was like, no, legit, that's what I said. I said, no. And I sat down. So, I mean, I'm sure that at that moment, he also just saw, here, it's done. Then, he prays for those people. And when we came home, I basically just told my husband to say, that was the last time I'm going to that place. If you ever have to call me, I'm not coming. I respected you enough. This time, spiritual life is basically for everybody, okay? So, it can be an individual thing. Like, just because we're married does not mean that we need to go to the same church. You need to go to, church together. Like, your relationship with God is your relationship with God. If I'm not comfortable at this place, does not mean that you have to be uncomfortable, So, I mean, at that point, my husband was also salty because of, remember, this man took our money. And he never ever mentioned anything. And people in church are now starting to look at us like we're liars. Like we said we're going to donate the church, but we never did. And those kind of stuff, you guys, like, it's just so annoying because of how do you go to people and you're like, guys, like, we did put out money. Or, guys, your apostle is a thief. Like, people will never really understand. And the dilemma of the fact that at one point my husband, they were like, oh yeah, he's gonna be the leader. Obviously people are going to think that we just want to badmouth this man so that my husband can be the leader, which is something that I didn't want at all. So I tell my husband, I'm like, I'm done. Now I think that because of the apostle, when he came to me and he was like, woman of God, go in front, like, so that you can take the envelope, and I said no. The following Sunday, he calls my husband and he's like, oh yeah, man of God, somewhere where they call it the crossroad, so that he can come fetch him. And my husband was like, oh, man of God, I'm actually busy right now. You need to call the other man of God. So that I called the other man of God and went there to fetch him. And then my husband went to church, and that day he was alone, you understand? So when because of at that time we were not now comfortable to just go and fetch him, so he was now forced to, for some days, to actually like use public transport to come, and then he would be accompanied back because sometimes we would finish late. But this time we'd already gotten him a place to stay, so he would sleep sometimes and stuff. But that Sunday he was going to sleep. So after church, you guys, the apostle calls my husband, and he basically tells my husband that my husband has to be careful of me. Me nalo. I am not spiritually strong. He needs to be careful of me. Now, you guys need to understand, okay, this is the part that pisses me off. If my husband was somebody that was like stupid, he would have started to look at me as his wife like I'm like the demon or the devil in this house. And he knows that legit what I'm fighting for is the truth. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're simply doing this because they want money. And I would have lost my marriage through that nonsense. Like, when he spoke to my husband came home and my husband was like, babe, I am done. I'm going to be going to him later tonight to tell him that we are out of that church. And I'm like, what happened? Because my husband was fuming. He was like, can you believe this man legit looked me in the eyes and told me I need to be careful of my wife? Now I'm sitting out, I'm like, girl, what is you talking about? So my husband goes there, you guys, and when he goes there, he basically talks to him to say that, we are done, we will no longer be coming, it's no longer spiritually serving us, and we are out, you guys. And let me tell you, when we left, we were blocked by people. People never knew the real reason why we even left. And for me, as I'm saying, like, I was not going to go out there and tell people, like, guys, this is what this person was saying, guys, this person stole our money, guys, this, like, we're not going to do that because we don't want to, like, badmouth people. But people looked at us as the bad people. But I can tell you that even till today, that chain never ever arrived. So I guess that our money was just chowed for something else. And it was a lot of money, you guys, because these things must die expensive. So I mean, we are not rich yet. We could have used that money for something else that would have been beneficiary for us, to us basically. But I just want you guys to just be careful, and especially if you're a couple going to church, once you start hearing a man of God talk bad about your spouse, it's time for you to just pack your bags and leave, okay? Because people are losing their marriages out here because of nonsense, you guys. Because these people, the way these people are so ruthless, they don't care what they destroy as long as they get money in their pockets. And after we left, you guys, like, things actually went bad. The other members even tried to talk to my husband, guys, you should come back. But I mean, girl, I was just done, because I was just like, nigga ain't coming back here for good, shibubu, for good. So that's basically what happened, you guys. This is the time that the apostles stole our money and tried to break us up. Shoo! We have suffered in life. You need to be very careful, you guys. I saw a recent story now, where they were alleging that, Bishop Zondo, something like that. There were people that were talking to the CRL and basically saying that, someone was saying that there was a prophecy that came that told a woman that she's supposed to be a successful businesswoman, but that won't happen as long as she's with her husband. So he lost his wife because of that. She was like, well, bye, I need the success. And you find that these things are lies. They want people to believe in these things. They want people to believe that they prophesy, they see with a greater eye. They see focal, I'm telling you. Most of them see focal. And they're just out here destroying people's lives for nothing. Well, let's not say for nothing, because they do make a lot of money. But I'm telling you guys, the other thing again that I forgot to tell you was that the time that there was tithe, you guys, when I tell you that the last tithe I ever put out in that place was over 5,000 rands, because that guys. And so I do remember, like, this is what this man legit did, you guys. So he would come, because the tithe was supposed to go to the leader. So he would come and be like, yeah, so I deposited money into the church account. Do you see? You see, like, this is exactly how we would do. Like, we would put it like this close to your eyes. There's no way you're seeing. But one thing that I did realize was that the paper of the slip, it looked like, you see those slips that you actually get from the, like, you see when you buy from this Chinese, that's exactly like what it looks. I have used all these banks, and I'm not even lying. Like, I've used all these banks. I've Netbank, Capitec, FNB, ABSA, which other one? Standard Bank. Okay, so I know the slips that print out from each and every, like, the bank slip, you'll be able to see it. It's kind of shiny. It does have that, line. Like, you know it. I'm not stupid. I know it. And I saw that, oh my gosh, like, this is actually a knockoff. It's a fake. So all that money that he was claiming to say that it's going to the leader, it was obviously not arriving there, Shibobo. And legit, you guys, like, I was just like, I'm done with this shendy. Okay. So that's how, we basically left, honey. he stole our money and tried to split us up. And then also, like, when we left, the members turned against us, and everybody blamed me. It was like, "Umam Hlongwane vele," that is even forcing the husband to leave. And they didn't know that my husband actually left after he called him to say, "Be careful of your wife." What should he be careful of me for? For opening his eyes? And other than that, I didn't even have to open his eyes. You stole his money. Like, hi guys, go to churches. I'm done with this shende, you guys. I'm not even lying. Like, I'll pray here at home. The Bible exists for us. We will be fine. Anyway, I love you, ninjas. That's my story time. Do you guys have any other story time experiences? Do not forget to leave the comment down below. Don't mention people's names, people's churches. This is just me trying to have people out there, obviously, like, open your eyes. Not everything that you're told is the truth. Sis. Stop hating people thinking they're witching you. They ain't witching you. It's that person that is lying to you for money. Okay? Anyway, I love you, ninjas. Stay blessed. I'll see you guys in my next upload. Bye.